Is hiring help on your radar? Are you at a point you need to hire? The start of relationships is always yummy and exciting. The middles are riddled with hiccups and speed bumps, and the ends are either mutual or explosive. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to Fitness Marketing Mastery, where I share marketing and sales strategies that are easy, enjoyable, even fun, so that you can build a business and a life that you love without sleazy, salesy, or pushy sales strategies to get it done. And today we're diving into the necessary world of hiring help, whether that's a virtual assistant, it's contractors, or it's literally you're hiring employees. I think everybody can understand the title of this podcast, although I won't use that certain language. Hiring help can go from I do, right? Like a happy marriage on a wedding day to, oh, you know what? Opportunities. And I say opportunities in the title on purpose, very much on purpose, because everything leads to an opportunity depending on how you look at it. Here's what I know after 37 years of private business work, actually, and as the individual being managed as the manager and as an owner. You know what it takes to write a good ad for support? It takes copywriting skills. It's not that different. Hiring internal customers versus attracting external customers. At least 20 years ago, when I first labeled our staff members internal customers in a then mid-sized health club, it changed the way I led them. Now, I will say this, mind you, I still had a lot to learn. For instance, about the different personality needs, and I may only be now just getting this. I assumed too often, and I still do, that people are like me. That is, I get my satisfaction from accomplishment, from finishing, from doing a job well. I actually don't love praise from others because if I feel myself that it was well done, that is so much more important to me. And if I don't, then that kind of external praise doesn't land very well on me and it feels fake. But I tick differently than others. And I finally realized that. And so do you. For instance, I assume people will get the job done that they say they will, or we will communicate about it ahead of time if they can't. It would never occur to me to change a date or a deadline without advance notice and talking to somebody first. But mostly, I would just get it done. I know what I can get done realistically, and I don't promise more. Although I am a yeser, I'm a yes person for sure, but I will get it done. I find a way. But not everyone is like that. And some people are more easily overwhelmed than others. And there's no judgment in that. It doesn't make anyone better than another. External acknowledgement is one of the most important things to most people. And I realized that as a leader, that was not a strong suit for me, providing that external praise to people on my staff. To someone like me, that's a shock. So I have to really effort to do it without feeling fake. And it's not that I don't appreciate the job and the person doing the job, but when the job expectation is to complete it on a time frame, working well, then it feels to me like making a huge fuss about, something like stopping at a red light, something that we're supposed to do anyway. I've always thought it was kind of weird that we have kindergarten graduation. Really? Okay, I diverse. Okay. Let me go here into the content. I've been involved in private businesses from health clubs to financial planning businesses. Granted, that was very lightly and only by way of marriage, but I actually worked in it and was privy to conversations about the running of that business and my personal fitness business since 1987. I've stepped into leadership titles often, way before I was a leader, because that's how we did it in the fitness industry, early on at least. Do you know what I mean? If you were hired and promoted fast, you do. Teaching fitness and being a responsible rock star employee that showed up on time, you never called in sick, then you probably got promoted to director or manager because there aren't a lot of us, is what I've learned. But that is an entirely different skill set. There was a need all of a sudden to set a standard, a set of guidelines and expectations for job success and what would lead to termination if those expectations weren't met. I've conducted thousands of weekly and monthly meetings, some effective, some just chit chat in my eyes that employees loved. So you've got to balance the task minded, focused with the what your hires need. Again, a need for clear communication about needs and goals and task at hand so that none of it is forgotten is really important. So let's say you're a new leader. Maybe you weren't promoted, but from the aftermath of 2020, you struck out on your own. Suddenly you're the owner, you're the entrepreneur, or you may wear, for instance, all the hats for a certain time in your business. You're the marketer, you're the video producer, you're the online tech, you're the fitness leader, the coach, you're everything. If you don't create systems, the steps for the actions that you take every day or every week or every month, you will struggle to delegate when you hire because you don't have anything like a framework to teach them from as you're training them, and then for them to use as, okay, here's the process, 1, 2, 3, 4, and write it in their own words. I've got systems I created back in 2013 when I totally gutted my other professional life and revenue, by the way. But those systems that I created in 2013, I have yet to find someone who can do them as quickly as I can. And so I still do them way too often. I see those systems that I wrote sitting in the little file that says systems dated 2013. That, my friends, is a delegation problem. That's on me. At some point, hiring help is mandatory for your growth. Compensating as an A gamer who gets things done on your timeline, meets deadlines, is proactive and intuitive and careful to check and test anything before releasing it to the public, that's asking a lot, but not too much. Not if you're clear from the very beginning. If you have someone who doesn't want to be contacted when something that they've built goes wrong and they didn't check and test it, then you've got a problem. If you fail to share the details for measures of success and expectations in reporting, it's on you. So the dynamics in every business are different. From a small one location fitness center to a partner owned studio to multi location businesses with annual growth of a department that had to work within a whole and an 8 team members of managers around a conference table every Monday to a small solo run financial planning business with 4 individuals and a region of dozens of agents. Every one of those businesses was very different, yet very similar. And the one common denominator is this: You as a leader have to be clear. And I, for one, wasn't. When I started hiring new people to help with tech and with customer service, I was not clear. And because of it, I learned a lot of lessons, which means I went through a lot of pain, a lot of conflict that probably could have been prevented, some hard feelings that, eventually bubble up. You get them out in the open, realize that you still respect each other, and you get through it. But each time that happens, sometimes there is a tearing down and an opening up, and the relationship is stronger. But other times it's tearing it down little by little, and it's actually going to come down. And you can sometimes see that writing on the wall, even though you try to hang on for dear life and resist change, because we all do. Nobody loves change, especially if it's unpleasant. So, in case you'd like to be spared some of those mistakes that I learned and lessons learned the hard way, take this message right now. Successfully hiring help hinges on clear expectations and measures of success, meaning you have to write the clear, this is a measure of success for this job. And when someone who's applying for the job reads that, it should immediately say to them, yeah, oh yeah, I can do that. I totally understand that. Or, no, I don't think I could do that. And they're out. And there is no reason to squabble over, are you the right person for the job or not? Because every Monday morning, your measure of success is what you're reporting on. Is it done? Is it good? Is it where it should be? Or who do we need to flex in? But if you know that's what you report on, then you also know where you stand in relationship to being able to keep your job and continue the relationship. So when you do find the right person for the job, then you find the right who to perform rather than filling a what. So a job description is really not enough. Just a generic job description that could have been written back in the 90s is not what we're looking for today. It's much more than that. So there are certain skills and ability to learn or grasp or find the solution and be the person who is the quarterback for solving a unique problem on a project, whether they can do it themselves or need to flex someone else in. That's the description that you need to get to. So you're very clear on what will happen, even if that person can't do the actual work, that they can know when to flex somebody in and we can stay on deadline and timeline. So very important when you're hiring help, you have to be clear because there's been a shift. If you want to level up a team, the best way to leave a hurdle of hiring help is to stop writing job descriptions alone and be clear on the measures of success for a job. What will determine if you're doing your job well, successfully? And if you're not, that is a reason that we just have to change something. The right who is not in the seat. Successfully hiring help hinges on clear expectations and those measures of success. So when you do that, you find the right person for the job. You find the right who to perform rather than filling a what, a job position. So how do you get clear? In a special Q&A during the Copywriting for Marketing to Women Masterclass, I'll answer, how do you write a better job description to avoid headaches? In addition to the 5 templates that you'll get and the bonus, I'll share a blank for creating killer job opening so that whether you're hiring someone to help you build a campaign funnel or manage your social media or assist with your household needs, something I've hired so that I could do my work without having to worry about the rest, that freed up my time too. And you may be at the point where that makes the most sense for you right now. Whatever it is you're hiring for, you have the best shot of getting a match that you'll both say yes to, or I do. It's a really exciting opportunity right now. It's exciting when you step into a leadership for your own business, not just take on a title like founder or CEO, but you literally take on the leadership role. So if you've noticed, titles come a lot quicker than leadership. So they're two distinct things. Somebody among your staff or your team may actually be a leader. Someone may be knowledgeable about certain skill sets and tasks, even though that is not necessarily a leader make. So it's important to make the distinction. You don't have to know every task or skill on your team to be a good leader of that team. And that was a distinction it took me a while to make. I felt like if I didn't know it, I was too vulnerable to actually be able to run and manage it. But they're quite distinctly different fears that I had and what leadership truly is. It's oh so easy to flip the mindset, shift, and get on with hiring help in a most effective way so that your days are far less stressful and you have the creativity that you need to without having to keep a thumb on deadlines or babysit anyone else every week. The measure is there. Every day between meetings and check-ins, team members know what has to be done and what their role is in doing it. Clear messaging internally and externally is a big part of your start, your ability to grow, and definitely your ability to scale a business. When you're hiring help, it's crucial that you have clear messaging. Are you ready to get clear? I'll put the link below today's show notes. July 21st, I'm sharing that 3-hour copywriting for marketing to women workshop. And I promise you, those 3 hours will fly. I'll present and you'll craft messages during it as well as take 5 templates with you home that you'll use to create your daily, your weekly, or your monthly content. The bonus template is all about today's content, hiring help. Register. Save your spot as I share those 5 profiles of female buyers, how to emotionally propel them into action ethically with a dozen emotional word families. When you have a product or service that improves the quality of life, this is the workshop for you. fitnessmarketingmastery.com/copywriting for more details, and all of that will be in today's show notes. And that'll be at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/hiring help. What are you waiting for? The world needs you now more than ever, and your business needs a leader. Are you thinking like someone who makes $100 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day? How do you need to be thinking in order to grow your business the direction you want to go?